Welcome back to Kids Storytime with Miss Randall. I am Miss Randall, your storyteller and also author of the much-loved story, Sparkle the Fly, that celebrates the power of truly being yourself and sparkling. Now, scroll down below to like and subscribe for even more amazing stories and to get your copy of Sparkle the Fly today. You are going to love today's story, The Elves and the Shoemaker by Mara Alperin. Now it involves two of my favourite things, shoes and also dancing. I love to dance. Now, Stan and Jan are shoemakers by day and also dancers by night. But when they start making money, it seems like their dancing days are truly over. But one morning, they wake up to find the most amazing, gorgeous pair of shoes. But who made them and why? Shall we find out? Are you ready to get reading? Let's go. In an old and shabby shoe shop, there lived a cobbler, Stan, and his wife, Jan. Though they were very poor, they were very happy, for they loved to make shoes. Shoes for walking and shoes for jumping and shoes for skipping. And best of all, shoes for dancing. Every day, Stan and Jan worked very hard making shoes for their little shop. And every evening they slipped on their favourite dancing shoes and they waltzed the night away. The villagers loved to watch them dance, and before long, young and old whirled and twirled through the door to join in. All summer long, the shoemakers danced, sharing their joy with everyone around them. But soon, the bitter winter came. And as the weeks passed, fewer and fewer customers stopped by to buy shoes. Whatever will we do? Worried Stan. Soon we'll have no money left and no firewood. The shop grew quieter and quieter. That night, Stan and Jan huddled by the tiny fire, their fingers too cold to sew and their feet too frozen to dance. Let's go to bed, Jan chattered. Perhaps we'll think of something in the morning. But in the morning they awoke to find the most magnificent pair of shoes. Leaping laces! Who made these? Marvelled Stan. Before they could even start to wonder, the shop door opened and in marched their first customer in weeks. Good day, cried the customer. My name is Sir Flumby. I spied these splendid shoes in the window and I simply must have them. The shoes fitted perfectly. So Sir Flumby paid Stan a handful of gold pieces and he skipped away merrily in his new shoes. Delighted, Stan went to the market to buy some supper and firewood. And that night, the shoemaker and his wife danced around with joy once more. The next morning, they found, to their amazement, 3 new pairs of shoes, even more stunning than the last. Stan and Jan could not believe their eyes. But just then, "Greetings, shoemakers! I am Sir Flipsy Flopsy, and I have heard tales of your marvellous shoes." "Why, they are even more fabulous than I imagined," he bellowed. "I shall buy all of them, one for me and all of the others for my horse Toby." So, Sir Flipsy Flopsy filled the shoemaker's pockets with gold coins and galloped off. From then on, there were shiny new shoes every day. Soon the shop was warm and cosy and bustling with customers day after day. One day, Jan said, we still don't know who is helping us. I wish we could thank them." Then Stan had a wonderful idea. "Why don't we stay up and find out?" It's a good idea. So, that night, Jan and Stan hid behind the curtains. They waited and waited and waited until the clock struck midnight. 3, a tiny owl skipped in through the keyhole and tiptoed across the room. The owl set to work with a stitch, stitch, stitch and a tap, tap, tap. And as they worked, they sang, "We love jumping, leaping and prancing. We were sad when you stopped dancing. So in we creep while you are dreaming, making new shoes bright and gleaming." All night the owl sewed until the sun began to rise. And then quietly, they popped back through the keyhole. Stan and Jan were so surprised by what they had seen. Show me a surprised face. 1, 2, 3. Well done. "What delightful little elves," Stan whispered. "We must repay their kindness. Let's make them their own little dancing shoes," said Jan, "and some dancing clothes too." So the next morning, that's just what they did. Jan knitted tiny jumpers using tiny pins, then sewed on tiny apple pips for decorations. Stan crafted tiny shoes from dandelion leaves and stitched them with daisy stem laces. And together they made tiny little pointy hats, finished with the tiniest pom-poms. How lovely. At midnight, Stan left the tiny parcel on the workbench just before the 3 little owls crept inside. Now, shall we read what the message says? "For our very special helpers, May you dance the night away. With love, Jan and Stan. Kiss, kiss. When the owls saw their new clothes, they were overjoyed. They giggled and wiggled and danced the night away in the moonlight. But as the stars faded, the three tiny owls tiptoed away and vanished into the night. That was the last the shoemakers ever saw of the owls. But their kindness was never forgotten. And Stan and Jan danced away every night with friends, just in case the owls ever returned. And who knows? Maybe one day they will. I hope you loved today's story, The Owls and the Shoemaker. What a lovely ending. Now, what's your favourite story? Now, ask your adults' permission to send a photo of you reading your favourite book and share on Facebook or Instagram using the hashtag Storytime with Miss Randall. We can't wait to see you. And don't forget to click like and subscribe for even more amazing stories. Now, thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you again on the next Kids Story Time with Miss Randall.